G'day, Jason the Middle-Aged Gear Junkie here. They say it's a sign of middle age when you start to buy back things that you used to own in your youth. If that's the case, then I'm guilty as charged. Over the last year or so, I've been buying back my original pedalboard that I used to have back at around 96, 97 when I was about 15, 16 years of age. The guitar I'm using is my oldest electric guitar, which I got back in about 1997. It's a Washburn Chicago series. It has a Floyd Rose because at the time I was really into guitarists like Joe Satriani, and I hardly ever play it these days. The first pedal that I ever owned was the Guiatone Zoombox Distortion. I got this for free when my dad bought my brother and I an electric guitar from a second-hand shop. They gave this to us for free with it because nobody knew anything about it, so they thought if we don't know anything about it, it's probably a piece of junk. Couldn't be further from the truth. This is actually really, really good. If you don't know anything about it, it's kind of like a Japanese Distortion Plus. I got some crazy distortion sounds out of it. I used to just crank the distortion channel on my amplifier and then put that in front of it and it would feed back like hell. But I tell you what, good times. I love this thing. I ended up, I think, giving it away. I swapped it. I swapped it for a volume pedal of all things. And I really regret that now. Yeah. It's a classic, and I'm stoked to have a new one. The next two pedals I got were the Arion Chorus and a Boss DS1. And I got both of these again for free when I bought an amplifier off a friend. It was an old Park practice amplifier, which was kind of Marshall's cheap brand back in the day. Now, the DS1, I never really liked it. I didn't like it at the time. I still don't like it now. I think part of the reason for that is because I love this pedal so much, and they are quite different. For me, if I ever wanted to go for some distortion, I always went to the Zoombox. The DS1 is harder to dial in. I mean, admittedly, I didn't know what I was doing at the time, but the tone control on this is very harsh. You basically got to have it nearly all the way down to get a usable sound out of it. I've copped a lot of criticism for bashing this pedal over the years, so I'll refrain from doing that this time. The Arion Chorus, on the other hand, mine was an SCHS. One of the original ones. I loved that pedal, used it a lot until I bought a multi-effects unit, and at that time I stopped using it, so I ended up giving it away. I gave it to a friend of mine. This is a reissue, the SCHZ, but sounds pretty much exactly the same for about a third of the price. You can pick these up from Japan for less than $100, so really, really nice, and I still like it today. The next pedal I got was probably the most expensive pedal in my rig at that time, which was Crybaby Wah, which I bought new from a local music shop, and I think I remember it costing me around $250 to $300, which is crazy money today. I mean, but in those days, I mean, $300 in 1996 is about $600 in today's money. So crazy money, but you know, it was I was the only person that I knew in my local music scene who actually used a wah at that time. So it sort of made me stand out a bit. I wrote a lot of riffs and chord progressions where I used the wah. I probably overused it at times, but you know, it was a classic. And when it wore out, I bought another one. So it's sort of testament to how good these things are. I picked this one up recently secondhand, and it's just like I remember. The last pedal on my original board was the Dino delay, and this marks the first time I was really dissatisfied with something and replaced it. Now, the delay time on this is not particularly long. It wasn't long enough for me to play a lot of the stuff I wanted to play. And also the repeats themselves, it's not crisp enough to be a good digital delay, and they don't have enough character to be an analog delay. So even today, I don't know if this is digital or analog. But I mean, I was dissatisfied with it then. Playing it again now reminds me why I didn't like it in the first place. I ended up selling this and buying an Ibanez DL5. So what I want to know is what was on your very first pedal board? You know, how did you get them? Were they hand-me-downs? Did people give them to you? Did you save up for ages to buy it? Did you have an experience where it was great or it wasn't as good as you had hoped it would be? Have you tried doing what I've done and buy back stuff? Is it as good as you remember or worse or better than you remember? Who knows? Please leave all that in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. And you can also join us on the Middle Age Gear Junkie Facebook page, which the link is in the description below. My name's Jason, and have a great day.